Hello,
Hello,
can I
can I
start?
start?
Good
Good
afternoon,
afternoon,
good
good morning,
morning
good evening to
to
the
participants,
participant.
especially the viewers. So today I will be presenting I
I
will be
will be
presenting
presenting
my
my
research
research
topic
topic,
with the
the
impact
impact
of
of research.
research to community. So what is the essential of presenting and publishing research? So the beneficiary, of course, is the community. This is precisely because the end user is the community. This is an agent in which the findings of research could benefit. So to start with, I have these concepts. Research is the systematic investigation and study of a particular subject to discover facts or reach new conclusions. In this presentation, we will explore the impact of that research has on communities and how it can be used to bring about positive change. Because generally, that's the purpose of research to create a positive implication to community. Because research is futile or useless if it's not um, if the community or the society will not benefit from it. Okay, so the second slide, please. Okay, so on the second slide is the importance of research in community. Okay, ma'am, am I audible? Okay,
Oh, yes, sir.
so okay, so the importance. What is the significance of research in the community? So we have I listed here four importance. Number one is advancing science. Okay, so research in the community leads to a new discoveries and innovation that benefit society. Okay, so through research, it can create another research, another innovation that could somehow benefit the society. So we advance, we think about possible because research is cyclical. Okay, so the problem will uh, we need to create solution from a problem, and after refining a problem or solution, it may create another sort of problem. So that's advancing science. We need to innovate. Innovation is the name of uh, the game. Innovation. We need to innovate. We need to come up with a change to society, change, political change, educational change. Okay. So aside from advancing sciences, we have the significance of research improving health. Okay. So improving health. Medical research drives the development of new treatments and cures for diseases in line with health. Okay, health. The third aspect is informing policies. One of the importance of this is to inform policy. That is why policymakers are one way of getting into the findings of research. And research can inform policies, okay, and programs that know issues and disparities. So if our research is related to social sciences, related to management or education, so there is really signal. It can bring significance to influence to policymakers, to the society, the research uh, confined in that particular aspect. Another thing on the importance of research is increasing productivity. Okay, so productivity is usually associated to agriculture. If our research relate to agriculture, related to technology, related to economics, and other social sciences. So agricultural research leads to more efficient learned farming practices and higher crop yield. Okay, so there is also an innovation. Okay, so that let me proceed on the third slide. Okay, the third slide is the type of research that benefit the community. There are a lot of research, but mainly we have qualitative research. Qualitative research talks on the lived experiences, yes, the terminology, the case study, the narrative inquiry. So those are examples of qualitative research. Qualitative research talks about correlational research, experimental research, and other research that we fall on quantitative research and the mixed method research design. But for this presentation, I will tackle on community-based research. Okay, community. What is community-based research? Under the first type of research is involving community members in all stages of research process and addressing their priorities and concerns. What is really the priority of agency? Okay, so involving community members in all stages of the research process, and it is addressing what is really the priority, what is really a certain organization. That's community-based research. Okay, so the second type of research is translational research. What is meant by translational research? Well, from the word itself, translating scientific discoveries, translate, okay, into practical application that benefit the community and contribute to economic growth. Mainly because research is really a good contribution to a certain economic growth that could somehow contribute to economic growth. So that's translational research from the word translation. Okay. Let me proceed on the number three type of research. We have participatory action research. Actually, action research is evident in the school. So if you are in the education sector, we are inclined, okay, we are mostly inclined to craft action research because we need to create action, okay, we need to respond on whatever challenges and problems perceived by the school, okay. So what is really meant by participatory research? This is a collaborative approach to research that empowers community members to identify problems, okay, develop solution action. So that's the reason why uh, I am one of the speakers in uh, research circle because this action research. I am into action research. My last research was about Project Echo. Okay, Project Echo is project end of class hurdle in one paragraph. So I allow students to learn by means of crafting research, of writing research. So basically, I help my students to come up with introduction, with literature, and some of the parts in actual research, in which they could hardly encapsulate the terms in action research because they thought that it's really hard. So what I did is an action research that could help them craft research, understand an action research. Okay, so that's one example of actions. There is a problem, and we solve that problem by means of having a research, particularly action research. Okay, so let me proceed to the fourth slide. Okay, so we have here examples of research projects with community. Okay, what are the examples of research project? Let's take it one by one. We have urban planning. Urban planning, environmental health, economic development, education. Okay, so under urban planning, using research to improve housing access and affordability in low-income neighborhoods. So urban planning is related to improvement of housing access. Okay, so that's all about urban planning. Okay, what about environmental health? Environmental health conducting studies on air and water quality to identify and mitigate environmental hazards. So there are research projects that could really have an impact to community, particularly on environmental health. If your course is related to environmental health, you are really required to do such research on environmental health. Okay. Example of research project is economic development. So after this environmental, we have this urban planning, this economic development, and opportunities of local business to foster economic growth and job creation. So this kind of research project aligns with or align with economic growth, economic development. This is related to business and management. Okay, so in this particular research project, we can really create impact to community in such a way that the findings will be useful to managers, to wholesalers, to retailers or business investors that could somehow come up with their decision making. I mean, it could the findings could influence their decision making. And the last is education. So education, what falls on education using research to identify and address systematic inequalities. So if you want to undergo or to study about irregularities, inequalities that affect student achievement, so you can come up with research, okay, that affect students' achievement and learning outcomes. If you want to maintain their learnings about the learning competency, it's imperative for you to have or to craft research in line with education. You are into helping the learners, not only the learners but the teachers as well, and also the administrators, the policymakers. Okay, so this falls under education, to which the research project community can create an impact. Okay, so let me proceed. So benefits. So let's talk about benefits of research community. I listed here three aspects. Community. The first aspect is community engagement. From the word itself, community, research to community. So there is really evident to community engagement. Research promotes community participation and empowerment, leading to increased trust and collaboration. Okay, so in dealing with research, we deal with problems in the community. So once you want to solve problem, okay, you engage to a certain community. That's community immersion. You understand the profile of the participants, the respondents, the responses, their challenges, and the possible outcome of that problem. Okay, it could somehow the nature and the problems of a certain community. That's community engagement. You engage with community. That's the benefits or advantages or the positive impact to research. Okay, uh, if you are a researcher, you will be engaged to community because basically you have these participants, you have these respondents. All you need to do is to conduct a survey, conduct an interview, a focus group discussion that could somehow you learn from the nature or what's really the problem that you're digging up into your research. That's community engagement. Okay, the second one is innovation. So as what I have said earlier, that innovation is an aspect wherein you need to create a change with the system, innovation of products, could be innovation of people, innovation of programs, innovation of policies. Okay, research leads to new technologies, tools, and methods that improve. Okay, that improve. That's the key terminology in innovation. That improve quality of life for residents and promote economic growth. Okay, so we innovate. We innovate because the community change, the people change, the product is changing, the environment is changing. So there is what we call innovation. Okay, ideas, innovation of ideas. It entails vision. It entails creativity. Okay, for you to address the concern or the challenges faced by the community. Okay, so the third aspect is evidence-based policy making. So one of the benefits of research is evidence-based policy making. Evidence-based policy making. So research helps policymakers, as what I've said, to make informed decisions that are based on empirical evidence and reliable data. So there is really a need to come up with a sound decision making. Sound decision making entails evidence, back up by evidence. It's not really confronting on what is happening. You need to dig further. You need to understand more about the problem. You can utilize some of the tools in research, like SWOT analysis, like RCA, root cause analysis, yeah, SWOT analysis, VOCA analysis. There are a lot of research tools that you can utilize, and mainly your purpose is to come up with a sound decision making because it helps the policymaker adjust whatever the policy that is needed to a certain organization, to a certain company, or a certain community. Okay, so that's the benefits of research to the community. Okay, uh, let's proceed. Okay, so challenges. There are challenges. If there is benefits, there are benefits. There are challenges and limitations of community-based research. So community involvement can be time consuming. Time consuming because um, from the very start you need to have respondents. You need to have participants. What if participants or respondents are not available? So time consuming, okay? Because you need to settle on your design and other factors that somehow affect your research activity. This is time consuming. Okay, it could not be done in 1 day, perhaps 2 days, but in a month, in months, or even years. Okay, complex, complex because you need to counter the problem posted in your uh, objective, on your domain of inquiry, on your statement of the problem. That's why it's complicated. You need to understand qualitative research, quantitative research, mixed method research, exploratory research, explanatory research. That's complicated because there are a lot of problems that you need to have an answer specifically in your research. Okay, so it requires also significant resources. Yes, resources could mean financial resources, could mean human resources, material resources. Okay, so it's expensive actually if you can come up with a quality research. It's quite expensive, or it demands significant resources, more on financial and human resources, because as a researcher we need to collaborate. with some other researcher that could help us to finish or to come up with a quality research. Okay, so research objectives and priorities may not align with community. Okay, so that's the challenge as a researcher. You need to align your research objective and the objective of the community that serve as your research locale. Okay, research objective may not align with community needs and values. So all you need to do is to align your problems, your domain of inquiry or research objective to the community because really the end user of your research is community, right? So there is really imperative or it is really necessary for you to align your objectives to community. Also, I listed here confidentiality and privacy concerns may arise. Okay, so confidentiality in research is one of the primordial concern in research. Okay, confidentiality. Yeah. It talks about privacy. Privacy concerns may arise, which requires sensitivity and transparency. So there is confidentiality. At the same time, there is transparency. Confidentiality for the participants because there might be time that they will be misinterpreted. Okay, they will receive threats, not only the researcher but the respondents or participants. So there is a need to have a confidentiality. So on the other side, on the other hand, I mean, transparency. Why? Because all you need to do is to report, is to provide the findings to the community, whatever the findings may be. Is it negative? Is it positive? So all you need to do is to publish, okay, to report, no, the findings of your research. Okay, okay. So next slide. Of course, there are ways to enhance the impact of research to community. So if there are challenges, there is to counter this. Is there are elements, there are ways to enhance the impact. So number one is collaboration. Okay, so we have collaboration, communication, and empowerment. Collaboration build partnership with community members and organization to identify shared goals and work collaboratively towards solution. So aside from what I have said, that there is really that it creates complex to community because uh, you need to align the research objective to the objectives of community. So all you need to do is to collaborate, to come up with collaborative partners with community. You can tap on some government agencies to help in your research, private companies and organizations. That's to answer the gap between the community and your research. You need to have a collaboration. Okay. Another thing is the communication. So what is communication? How can it affect in enhancing the impact of research? So regularly communicate research findings and progress updates to the community in an accessible and digestible format. So you need to communicate. So what I have said earlier, that you need to present. Okay? Uh, you need to present your research. You need to publish your research. Actually, research is not enough if it's not done. It's not completely done if you will not present. If you will not publish your research, it's useless. There is communication. You need to communicate to the end users, to the policymakers, so that your research will gain importance and what they call this one, the importance of your research. Somebody will adopt, okay, will adopt your conclusions your recommendation in the research. There is always a part in research, the summary, the conclusion, recommendation. So to counter the gap, you need to communicate. You need to have communication because it's really important to have the communication between you and the community or the school or the stakeholders that somehow can benefit your research. Okay. Okay. And the third one is empowerment. What is meant by empowerment? Empower community members to participate in the research process and ensure that their voices are heard. Okay, so in research, it is generally uh, understanding what is the nature, what are the problems, what are the activities in the community. So you need to empower by means of their participation by means of their responses. We need to respect. We need to tabulate whatever data is given. Whatever data, it must be converted to information, and it talks about empowerment. Okay, so you need to ensure that their voices are heard. Okay, and this simply means that you need to be confidential if there are certain information that needs to be secret. Okay, so in conclusion, research has the power to transform communities, address yes the last presentation, um, conclusion, uh, a summary or conclusion of my presentation, the last slide. Research has the power to transform communities, so address social issues and improve the quality of life for residents. Okay, so that's the goal. That's the goal of research. Another is the community-based research approaches can ensure that research is inclusive, equitable, and tailored to community needs and priorities. Okay. And the third one is collaborative partnership, open communication, and community empowerment are key to enhancing the impact of research in the community. Okay, with this, I thank you for your attention, for lending for lending your ears to my presentation, and for, to learn on the impact of research to community. And this has been your speaker for today, Sir Jericho Garcia from the Philippines.
Thank you so much for this very nice session, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much all the participants for your active participation. Let me inform to all that this complete session will be available on our Business Roadgar YouTube channel. So if you want to watch it again or want to share it to somebody, please do it. Visit the Business Roadgar YouTube channel. Thanks. And last but not the least, thank you, Mr. Jericho sir, for taking out time for the session. With your permission, I would like to end today's session. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Hoping to have
Thank you.
another activity, research
Yes, yes. Thank you.
endeavor.
Thank you so much.
Okay, welcome, welcome. God bless.